troop do you want me to donate to you? Do you want wishes? I've got a bunch of wishes. I'll give you 2 wishes.
Yeah, sure. I didn't use it that much, so that's
They're good for defense because like they just keep on spawning units from a range.
I got a 51%. I put that in the
Yeah, I saw that. That's unlucky. Yeah.
I don't think I've won like a defense in like a
Same.
long time.
Yeah.
If I win a defense, that would be so fucking great.
Oh, apparently I've won 2, but I think they were both like just throwaways. Like a guy attacked me with like 112 wall breakers.
Yeah. I've had the ones like that where like he spawns like his archer queen and then surrenders or whatever.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 107th edition of Cinema Effect. I'm Zach, and I'm joined by the amazing Spider-Man Defense Force, Jaden.
Oh, I like that one. I think you should keep that one for a while.
Okay, yeah,
I feel like we don't hear it enough.
The mix.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I should sort of evenly split them all. And we also got PTA's number one fanboy, aka Fitzy, aka Liam. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I didn't have to say hello that time. That's like historical. This is a historical moment.
Are you happy about that?
Is that good? Yeah, it's good.
I had a whole bit set up. I was really hoping. I did that. So I was really hoping that you were going to say, "How are you?"
Oh, okay. You wanted me to like screw it up and like say what you said.
No, I want you to say, "How are you?"
Oh, okay. How are you, Zach?
I've got a lousy cold I can't seem to shake, but otherwise I'm okay.
Okay, that's good.
Did you get it? I actually had to read that. I got that up in another tab. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Chinatown, which opened in the US on the 20th of June, 1974. It was directed by Roman Polanski. It is a mystery drama, and the synopsis says, a private detective hired to expose an adulterer. I don't know what that word means.
It means it's just for like a cheater, right.
Yeah. Because you commit adultery. Oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. In 1930s Los Angeles, finds himself caught up in a web of deceit, corruption, and murder. Excellent. Liam, what do you think of Chinatown? We hadn't all never seen this?
No.
Exciting. All right.
I don't know. It was pretty good. It was okay. It was a bit slow, more so than I thought it would be, and a bit, to use Zach's word, meandering, I guess. But I mean, it had all the elements of like a fundamental kind of noir. I mean, Jack Nicolson I think is really great. He's like, I don't know, he's like he's carefree, I guess, and he just like goes into whatever room or place he wants and just doesn't really care about the consequences. Very snoopy.
That's just the 30s.
Yeah, were you there, Jaden?
Yeah, times just aren't quite like they were back then.
But I don't know. It's a bit. I mean, the last 10% of the movie, I think, is where it really succeeds. But I don't know. I was a bit relaxed the whole time, so which is a good thing, I guess. It's good to be relaxed. But
I know what you mean. Yeah, I feel that.
It's good though.
What about you, Jaden?
Yeah, I was actually rather disappointed in it. Not that I didn't like the film. It's just that I was expecting something different, and I was expecting to like it more. That original mystery that were kind of thrusted upon just didn't interest me, and I just thought that first one was going to be kind of a detour before we get to the main story, but then it ended up just evolving into the story. And because I couldn't connect from at the beginning, I just couldn't get behind it at all, and like. I don't know. I think there's elements that are interesting. I think like if that whole like water thing is true, about like if that actually happened in the 1930s LA, I think that's actually quite an interesting story, and like the power of the wealthy and like moving a city to where you need it to be. But I just didn't connect with that kind of idea in this film, and like I didn't connect the film enough to really like appreciate or like kind of want to bother to delve into any kind of analysis of themes. So like it's. Like ultimately, I still ended up being okay with it, but like severely disappointed. I don't know. Like I've seen it lauded as one of the greatest screenplays of all time, and obviously Polanski, like despite him being a fucking rapist, he's a very good director. But yeah, I wasn't able to engage with it to its entirety, if like at all.
Yeah. I thought I didn't. Well, the weird thing was I didn't think I knew anything about this movie at all. I didn't think I'd ever heard of this movie, but then it was on my watch list, so obviously at some point I've heard about this. But yeah, like obviously it's really well made and it's good. I don't know. I'm sort of right there with both of you, where it's like these comments about it being like one of the best screenplays ever written. It's like, I guess I can see that in the sense that it's like incredibly fundamentally sound. It's got, as Fitzy said, it's got all the elements, all the pieces. It's got everything you need. It's very structurally sound and very competent. But there's nothing about it that's like exceptionally engaging to me. And I don't know, it didn't have a lot of personality. The film feels a bit, I don't know, it feels a bit cold in a way that didn't really add to the experience for me. It feels a bit distant. I don't know. Like I never really got right into it. But I don't know. I'm glad I watched it still, and I'm glad I've never seen a Roman Polanski film until now, because now I've seen one, unfortunately. But no. But in all sense, it's like
you're dirty now.
I know. I'm down there with everyone else at this point. I've now seen this guy's films. I had to, because I know like the whole like Roman Polanski terrible person thing. So like I had to look into it for myself. Okay, I had to know like, is this one of those things where like how bad is it actually? Like, and yeah, it's real bad. It's real bad. Real bad.
It's real bad. Like no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. But like, it's interesting to see that. Like it's interesting to see how it's evolved over 40 years. To like how much did you look at about it?
Not a whole lot. I just wanted to see like the actual what the thing was. You know what I mean? I didn't know like I just saw rape and I was like, cool, all right.
Because like that happened in the 70s, but then like the fact that so many people allowed him to keep making movies, and like famous people as well have collaborated with him post that, like
right,
like Ewan McGregor in 2010. You know, like how's that make you feel?
Wait, what?
Yeah, in Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, yeah. Ghost Rider,
and like
oh shit.
Well, like so many famous people have like collaborated with them post this this happening, well, and like it's just interesting.
I think like a few years ago, remember that movie we watched, Portrait of a Lady of Fire? Like he made this movie, Accused, I think.
Yeah.
About someone who's been wrongfully accused of a crime.
Yeah.
Bit on the nose. And it won like a French film festival or something. And then like the lady from like the one in the second main character in Portrait of a Lady on Fire like walked out with Celine Sciamma or whatever her name is, the director as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's still like pretty prominent in France as well.
Well, I mean, like he won his best director in 2002. You know, for
like
the artist.
30 years later.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, right.
And like, so is you know how there was that petition in like 2010 or whatever that like a bunch of like creatives signed to like free someone? Was that about Polanski or was that about someone else? Liam, do you know?
Wait, what?
Like a bunch of prominent figures in the industry. They all signed a petition in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. I can't remember. Where it was like saying like we need to forgive this guy and like let him like we need to let him like start like integrate back into society or whatever. And like
I thought it was about a bunch of people, but I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. But there's a lot of like actors who like signed that. I remember, like normal, good actors who were like, yeah, let's do this.
Is this list ordered on purpose? There's a list here of IMDb Hollywood celebrities who signed the Polanski petition.
Yeah.
Number one is Woody Allen, and then Harvey Weinstein. That's so deliberate, dude.
The thing is, like Del Toro and Wes Anderson both also signed that, which kind of like that one hurts. But like,
I don't know. Like, I'm not going to make any uneducated comments here, but that's sort of, mate. Is there more to this? I don't know. Well, that's sort of so weird.
I was reading about it, and I think at the time that was signed, it was pre-Me Too, obviously, and around that same time, I think it may a bit earlier, I was reading like the girl that he raped. She said, it's been 30 years. I'm willing to forgive him. She's like, I think he knows what's been wrong, and I'm willing to move on. I think the world should move on. And she's like, I was the only one that ever came out, and I think he just made a mistake, whatever. But then obviously roll around 2017, like another 5 people have accused him or something like that. So like, I think since that petition, things have changed again.
Interesting. Literally every famous person you like has signed this.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Well, the thing is, he's worked with Harrison Ford on Fracture, so I'd assume like nearly everyone that he's worked with would have signed it.
Sense, yeah.
And
David Lynch, everyone. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't want to get into that too much more because I sort of want to learn more about that. Actually, that's interesting to me. But anyways, this film. Let's separate.
Yeah,
this
film.
is the whole. How do you guys feel about? I don't want to go on a whole tangent, but while we're sort of here, like, how do you respond to the whole separating the art from the artist thing? Because I know it's like everyone feels very differently about it, and it's obviously complex. But I think it's interesting to discuss, though.
Yeah, like his other film, The Pianist. Like that's one of my favorite movies. I think that's like one of the best films ever made. So, and the same with like some of Woody Allen's films, like what is it?
Midnight in Paris for me.
Yeah, Midnight in Paris.
Right.
What's the? Oh my god, what's the main one? The fucking
Manhattan, Annie Hall.
Annie Hall. Yeah, like that is a film we should like really enjoy. So I don't know. Yeah,
if like I try and avoid them as much as I can, but like I think it's like in the music industry, like as soon as it comes out that someone's done something wrong in the music industry, I immediately cut them off. I think it's easy to replace someone with, it's easy to have a similar sound in music. So like, as soon as it come out that, he did this or he did that or whatever, I cut them out and I don't listen to them anymore. But like for film, it's a lot harder to replace like someone like that. So like, I'll still engage with their content, but you just try and remove yourself as much as you can. But I won't judge their product for what they've done, but I will try to not engage with their product.
Sure.
I mean, that's also with films, it's like there's a lot of people collaborating and making it. It's not just one person, you have editors and composers and the actors, of course. Like,
absolutely,
exactly.
Yeah, that's an excellent point too. That was good. Let's get another film.
What about you? You need to give your.
Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I'm a total hypocrite with it. Like I probably take it on a case by case basis. I don't have any sound logic to it. I find it just on a case by case basis. I don't know. I feel like I'm still sort of finding my perspective on it as time goes on. It's interesting. But that's an excellent point you made though about even across different mediums, like music being more replaceable than film. This rapper did this fine. There's like 500 other rappers. I'll just slot you in, Yeah. I mean, I guess that only goes to an extent, but that is interesting. Like it's film.
There's only one Polanski, like he's terrible, but he's made some fantastic films,
Yeah.
It's
like if you cancelled, if you decide to cancel Mel Gibson in the early 2000s and you're like, fine, Mel, I'm never watching Braveheart again. I'll go and watch, what's that Braveheart ripoff? Rob something? It's like this Braveheart film that's a ripoff, like released at the same time. I think it's like Rob, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I wish I remembered. My point's fallen flat. Anyway, there's like a Braveheart similar film, like released around the same time. It's like you go and watch like the inferior version of the same film, So, Fast and Furious director, I guess I'm going to go and watch B-grade action film from Blockbuster now. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not the same. It's not as replaceable. How do you guys feel about the look of the film overall and just the direction while we're sort of talking about it? I mean, it's very capably directed, obviously. There's a few standout things and shots and stuff, but I was sort of curious about overall, like the look of the film, and it feels very desaturated.
Overall. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, when I first looked at it on Stan, because I watched it on Blu-ray, but I looked at the first scene or so on Stan, and it looked like pretty bad, honestly. Like in the just the guy who was has the photos or whatever, some kind of scandalous photos. It's in his office. It looks really I don't know, brown or gray or something. I think it's slightly improved on the Blu-ray, but I think in that first scene it's actually pretty bad in terms of the saturation.
Right. But overall, did you?
But I didn't notice.
You didn't watch the whole thing, right?
I didn't notice it afterwards. So
okay. How do you overall feel it looked on the Blu-ray then? Like, was it a positive for you? Or
Oh yeah, it looked pretty great. Like,
okay,
yeah, especially like later on, yeah, it looked pretty great. But I mean, the look of the film, I don't think the film has much style. I guess I said earlier, like the word fundamental. Like it's quite fundamentally has like noir elements and like it's very just city focused and I don't know, quite plain.
Yeah,
in that way.
I feel like the film baited me into thinking it's going to be kind of, more visually dense. Because with the title of Chinatown, you kind of imagine like a really, like obviously only set in the US, but like I imagine it being set in Chinatown and it being like really just tight and sweaty and kind of constant kind of pressure and like like the kind of that opening title not crawl, but like those opening title like slides with like the really rich kind of 30s-esque score. It kind of promises you something like kind of dripping in that style, but then it kind of doesn't, So like I feel like I was baited by those two things and left, wanting so much more.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was also disappointed at the film. I mean, it's obviously not the point of the film, and we can talk about why it's called Chinatown, but I was disappointed the film didn't take place in Chinatown. I was sort of like, I thought that'd be cool, just the idea of that. But oh well, that's all right. That's fine. I don't know. Like, how did you feel about the colors and stuff on the? I assume you watched it on Stan, Jaden.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I guess it is pretty washed out. I don't know. I think it comes again. Like I was expecting a lot richer aesthetic, and because I didn't get that, it is disappointing.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't mind the way it looked. For me, I don't know. It's sort of. I think it goes back to what I said at the start. I feel like it adds to. The film doesn't have a lot of style, so that's not the right word. But I feel like it adds to its aesthetic in some way. Like it feels very consistent. And when I do think of the film, when I visualize this film, I see those colors and that is how I sort of am able to recognize it. So it has that as a distinguishing characteristic in my mind, which is good, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't like add a whole lot to me. It wasn't like, oh, dude, the style was dripping off the screen or something, and not that everything needs to be like that. But I guess it just goes back to, what we're saying. It just feels very deliberate, very thoughtful, very good. But yeah, I wasn't like, it's not something I'm raving about by any means, But I guess we can go to Jack Nicholson and his performance because, I mean, for me, like, I liked him a lot, but for me, I just found it amusing that I feel like his character spends the whole movie, which feels very Jack Nicholson, at least from what I've seen of him. I feel like his character spends the whole movie basically just like trying really hard not to be like an asshole, trying really hard not to be crude like the whole time. Like every time he's around bloody the girl, he's trying his hardest not to just like swear like a buffoon. I find that kind of funny. He spends the whole movie doing that. So I feel like he's in a way, and like I know that Jack Nicholson characters as being that sort of eccentric, like rude, like person with a lot of fronts sort of thing. So I feel like he's basically like spending the whole movie like trying not to be Jack Nicholson, which I find amusing. But what do you think about him, Fitzy? Did you enjoy him? Did you think he had the emotional weight in some scenes even? Because I mean, especially the end and stuff.
Yeah, well, I thought like him being like kind of a jerk was kind of part of the intention of the film, was kind of, I don't know, a major part of it. Because you can't really, I think because the film's so confusing that you kind of end up rooting for him, and like I ended up rooting for him just because like the woman like the daughter of Gideus, was her name? I don't know. It did feel like Evelyn. Yeah, it felt like she was always holding something back, which she wasn't in the end. But it felt like it was more like she was like had more, I don't know, sinister intention, or she'd done something wrong, or something. So that's why I kind of bought into his pushiness, I guess. But I think he's a lot of fun to watch. He just like he takes someone's business card and impersonates him, and breaks into places. It's like
Yeah.
He's a turtle, you know. He doesn't give a shit, really. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
agree.
he does... I didn't really buy into, like... I didn't really fully get into, like, his... whatever you want to call it, redemption or whatever, like him falling in love with Evelyn and him becoming good or whatever. Although I do really like, you know, the final scene, like, you know, like the devastation on his face at the end. But I was never fully bought into him as like the I don't know, the redeemed hero or anything. But
Right. Yeah.
he's a lot of fun, I guess.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, he's fun. He's cool. He serves his role as the protagonist well. Yeah, but he's not like, I don't know, I don't like look at his story as something like, you know, incredible or anything. What do you think, Jaden? I mean, I thought the ending was not to get to that separately, but like I thought him in the ending was like definitely the best part.
What I think about Jackie is that
or just Jake in general. Like, oh, geez, his name's Jake.
Jake. Yeah.
I thought he tries hard not to write Jack.
Yeah, it was good. I know. I feel like the other times I've seen Nicholson is probably better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really.
We'll get to that later.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I don't know. He didn't really feel anything special. I don't know. His performance kind of felt like in between of, you know, something that you'd see from an actual 30s or 40s production too, and what you'd see in a 70s thing. It kind of felt half-hearted in that kind of sense. It was a good performance, but it kind of felt half-fulfilled, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting. I hadn't thought of that. So I guess, I mean, now that you say that though, Evelyn sort of does feel like that to me though. That performance does feel quite of the era. Yeah. That's interesting. Dude, she has the thinnest eyebrows I've ever seen in my life. It was impressive how thin her eyebrows were.
Yeah, I haven't seen Matt Smith then.
Matt Smith's got thin eyebrows too, does he?
Yeah, very delicate, yeah.
Really? But her eyebrows were basically just like, they look like they were painted on, you know? It's unreal. It's otherworldly stuff. Yeah. I mean, I liked Jake as a character as well. He had interesting dilemmas and stuff. Like, I like the element to his character that he takes issue, like in terms of his profession, he's a private detective, and it's sort of a recurring little element theme throughout the film that's brought up a few times where he seems to take issue and has a bit of insecurity with sort of his career and his sort of the way he's perceived. He's a former cop, and then transitioning into his private detective business, and people sort of look down on him. He's often sort of disregarded for that, and his former colleagues in the police and stuff. Like, that's a little element to it I quite liked. It feels like he's this guy that, you know, couldn't find what he was looking for in the police force and all the dodgy shit that apparently happened in Chinatown back in the day. And, you know, he's just trying his best to make it, as he calls it, an honest living, you know, with his skill set, and everyone sort of looks down on him for that. That guy in the barber shop, I thought that was a good scene. So that was like another like little wrinkle to his character that added a bit of depth for me, which I liked. He just beat the shit out of Evelyn in that scene. Oh my god, that made me so uncomfortable.
That's fun. Yeah, I can hate it. You know, it's the same thing as fucking LA Confidential, where like, you know, you got.
This, yeah.
It just pisses me off when movies do that.
It made me so uncomfortable. I don't know. I read in the trivia that the actress like told him to really hit her, and I'm like, oh no, don't do that. But all right, yeah, that was what it was. But it was just like, but the way it was played in the scene, to be clear, like I've got no issue with like domestic abuse
hitting
scenes
women.
when there's when there's weight to it, and it adds to the story and the seriousness of it. The way it's just like it's so like not a thing in this movie. It's like so nonchalant. He just gives her a hit and then shoves her and gives her a hit, and it's just like something you're meant to almost just look over to get to the next line of dialogue. You know, it's like not important, and I'm just like, that's so weird. I don't like that, but I guess that's just a product of its time. It's weird. Did you guys have the ending? Is by far the best part of the movie, in my opinion. Did you have that spoiled at all? Because for some weird reason, I feel like I've seen it before. I didn't know prior to it happening, but now that I watched it, I feel like somewhere I inherently knew that ending from somewhere. I don't know if it's like considered legendary or something, but I thought it was really good. Had you guys had it spoiled? And what do you think, Fitzy?
No, I hadn't had it spoiled. I mean, I knew like, you know, the famous quote, the famous line, forget it, like Jake, forget it. Forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown. I knew that.
Right.
So I guess I insinuated that it was kind of like a bad ending or a, depressing ending. But I thought, well, yeah, I kind of had like an image in my head of the ending of being kind of as Jake being like getting played or something, or like it being a bit more complicated than it was. I don't know where I get that impression, but but yeah, no, like the ending was great. It wasn't like amazing, but it was pretty great.
Yeah, it elevated the movie for me. Like it felt like at that point the film sort of found what it. I mean, because obviously the ending, like it like ended on a point where it feels like it had something more poignant to say, or something thematically interesting to end on as a sort of an emotional beat. So that's what I really liked about it. But
yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, another thing I kind of like about the film is like it's kind of. I like how I actually understood what was like happening in the end. Like it's kind of an elaborate plan from the Noah Cross. Like what he's trying to do is like he's trying to give drought to like this farming land so that all the farmers move out. And then he buys all the land and then puts good water into it. And then he's gonna sell the land to like schools and hospitals and like whatever, whatever the government needs to put there, and he'll get rich off of that, even though he's already like super rich. And just the fact that like the film kind of explains it so well without being super like expository, because like I mean the film is like a lot of detail and exposition, but it's like very like done in a very entertaining manner with like Jake. Like snooping around everywhere and finding this information and like ripping the pages out of like the public records or whatever. Like that scene is entertaining because I remember like him coughing and doing that, and like the kid that was like that he was like talking to there and stuff like that. So like
the horse, yeah.
No, like on the in the hole, like that the guy with the glasses or whatever, he called a weasel. They were like going at each other. Do you remember that?
No.
He's not a kid, Zach. He was just the guy that was working.
Oh yeah,
there.
like the guy.
The old folks' home.
No, at the Hall of Records.
Yeah. He gives him the ruler. Sorry.
Yeah. We got that. No, but like it's quite elaborate. All the things that happens, and it's kind of the movie like guides you through that in a like non-confusing way, I guess.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I almost feel like, and maybe this is how you feel, Jane, like, I feel like I totally acknowledge that, and I think it's well done, but that's also like the double-edged sword is that's also the part that's just not that interesting to me because it is so straightforward. It's just this guy. I mean, because it would never really felt like it was anything but. Like it's just this dude who like, he's just rich guy has plot to manipulate land rights and get more money. And that's sort of what the whole thing was the whole time. It didn't really feel like the synopsis calls it like a web of deceit. And I never really felt that, I was sort of just like, okay.
I thought it was
he's getting the clues, but
I thought the story would expand much more or like involve more people and become
right.
Actually, now that I think about it, like it really isn't that elaborate. I mean, the actual plan is a bit complicated, like in terms of like, doing that with the water.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the fundamental thing that he's doing is quite simple, which was kind of disappointing in a sense because, like, I mean, the film feels like it takes a large detour, like it moves away from the conspiracy and stuff and kind of becomes smaller. I mean, it does that with, just with Evelyn, I guess. So I don't know. Yeah.
Does that sort of represent your issues with the whole water sort of plot and mystery to it, Jaden?
No, I think I prefer. I think I like that in terms of story more than Jack Nicholson and Evelyn and
Oh, okay.
that kind of angle. I think the water was interesting. I think because I think it's a bit more than just a rich guy manipulating stuff. It's kind of the extent of it. Like he's moving a whole city. Like he's going to move a city. Like that's
Right.
that's the thing. So I think that was cool, seeing that. But yeah, I guess it is kind of simplistic in its own sense. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't mind it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just maybe expected it to more go, like, for it to be like twists on twists, which there were twists on twists in this movie, as we see with Evelyn. But like you never saw like how far the corruption went, and like even there ends up being like, oh, even Lou is in on it. You know what I mean? Like, it never went that far. Like
at the end, like Evelyn says, oh, he owns the place or whatever, but that's the only kind of indication we get. That,
and I was sort of
it is like kind of like a web of corruption, like it's. Yeah, there's nothing more to fun there, like
exactly.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I must say, dude, that was it. Lou who shot her at the end. It was.
No, I think it was one of
his
Lou's mates.
Dude, what a shot! Oh my god,
Yeah.
what a shot! He nailed it.
I didn't even register what happened initially, but like as the beeping goes, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah.
I thought he must have shot one of the tires in the car or something.
I think that's what they were aiming for initially, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that would make sense.
But they couldn't hit it. But then they just nail her in the back of the head through the right eye.
God, good. Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, I guess transitioning into her side of it, because that is sort of the main other element, the thread of the film is her and her relationship with Jack and everything. It started off interesting for me. Like I thought it was cool that someone came in, like very early on, came in to like pose as her and hire Jack, and then she came in for real. Like that already that grabbed my attention. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, what's going on here? And it's fine. It sort of does its thing. But my God, like, what the hell's going on with that sister-daughter shit? Holy crap! That was I didn't quite. That was massive. That was
like,
weird.
I didn't quite understand what was going on there, because like she's like,
oh, we can break it down.
Because like she's like, he didn't rape me, but then like she's my kid, and she's like, I went to Mexico and he was there or something. Like what actually happened? I don't get it.
Wait, he did rape her though, right?
But she said that he didn't. Even like after she says, "Yeah, she's my daughter. It's my dad's." Even after she says that, Jack Nicholson goes, "Did he rape you?" And she goes, "No."
Oh, I missed when she said no. Then that's weird.
She doesn't say no. This is the part I was kind of confused about. Like, so I think like I watch like videos and stuff that say like that kind of have the opinion or confirm that he did rape her, but like that it's not like she like nods her head like kind of. She like, what do you call it? Is that nodding? I don't know.
That's shaking. Head.
Yeah, she kind of. I think it's like a. Yeah, it's like a instinctual like. It's like a fake denial. I don't know. It's like a. It's a very weird way of saying yes.
Is it just that because she justifies it by saying she went to Mexico and that's where Mare found her? So it seems like it was like and like she's like. It seems like there was like some kind of mix up in like that situation where like, I don't know. I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I took it definitely as he did rape her, and that's sort of then where like that sort of added the tension at the end for when he's trying to get his daughter, her daughter. What's the other one's name? I don't know the name. Catherine, when he like at the end when he's like trying to grab her out of the car and stuff, that's why that was like intimidating to me, because it's like this dude's trying to take his other daughter to probably rape her too, and that's sort of like that's what got it about me. I don't know.
Well, like that seems very scary. Like he kind of like just the way he like takes her like over her like eyes and just like. Takes her out.
Yeah, he's creepy, dude. Yeah, he's not a fun guy, Noah Cross. Not at all. Yeah, that shit was wild. I don't know, because the whole time I didn't really get where that whole plot was going. The thing I still feel like I'm missing is that at the start, Jack Nicholson took photos of Mulray, the man, the husband, with her, the daughter, with Catherine.
Yeah.
What was that relationship? I didn't. Was he
Well,
like?
doesn't Evelyn say something about like she knew about it and like she liked Mulray to the point where she wanted Mulray to be happy and Mulray was happy with Catherine? Is that what she says?
Wait, what?
Wait, so hang on. Catherine was sleeping with, like, was actually genuinely sleeping with him?
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying that the girl at the start was Evelyn and Noah's daughter, Catherine?
Well, that's who it is, right?
Yeah. The girl with Mulray in the photos is Catherine. Yeah.
Right. Well, if that's true, I think he's looking after her, and Noah is like hiring Jake to find to like quote unquote find the girl because he wants to find his daughter, and he's trying to frame it as like, you know, an adulterous like affair from Mulray.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, right. So then when Jack goes to cross the first time, or when Jake goes to cross the first time, and he goes, what was the argument about? Cross says it was about my daughter, but it doesn't specify which daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So Mulray was never cheating at all. Like, he was just trying to help Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He was like a good guy, yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh, no, that makes sense. That's right. I was like concerned for a second. I was like, hang on. Is he having an affair with her? I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like he would have like been, you know, good in that sense, but also he wanted to like give the water to the people in, you know, in LA. He didn't want Noah to go ahead with his plans to keep the water for himself and like, you know, go ahead with his massive scheme to like build a city. So he was like opposing Noah in like those two senses.
Yes.
Yeah.
In both threads of the film, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I didn't see that coming. I didn't really know where the whole like who Catherine was thing was going. I sort of bought into for a second, like Jack says, like maybe like Evelyn was keeping her captive or something.
Well, I think it's kind of delivered not the best, like because like it's kind of an element that's thrown in, kind of. It's just thrown in, and then like Jake is saying she's kidnapped her, but I don't know who she is or what the significance is, and like, yeah, I don't like buy, like I don't understand like why she would kidnap someone or like what that had to do with anything. So I was like quite confused about that. Like the film didn't make it seem important. It didn't feel like.
Oh, okay, yeah. I sort of thought at the time. I think I was thinking that she'd kidnap her because it's this. I don't know, this chick who cheated on her.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't even recognize that. Like, I didn't even see that was the. I didn't even know that girl was in it earlier. So that's what.
Right, yeah.
About it.
I gotcha. Okay. Man, I've got some. Hang on, I've got some trivia here. Oh yeah, we already said the screenplay is regarded as one of the best ever written, and it's a teaching point in screenwriting seminars and classes everywhere. Andy Newen learning about that thing out there. And
did you see the rating that Andy slapped on it?
No, what was it?
Go to Fat 10.
Whoa, there you go. Film classes everywhere having an influence. And that's crazy. And this is what I said I wanted to chat about a bit earlier. The film's enigmatic title, I think I said that word right, is a metaphor for moral corruption by unseen forces. Throughout the film, Jake Giddies refers to his time as a police officer in Chinatown, where you can't always tell what's going on. That was a quote from the film. In Hollywood, the movie's line, quote, "Forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown," has become a mantra for those who have been burned or snubbed by the entertainment industry, the implication being that it's better to, quote, "let it go," than make an issue of it, because that's just how the industry works. So it is this idea of this cynical idea that it's just like, yeah, man, you know, this place, it's just messed up, you know.
I just saw that this week. This screenwriter that Kerry Fukunaga would work with, like, he came out on Instagram and he was like, you know, roasting him, saying like Kerry just steals everyone, like all the screenwriters' work, and then like asked for like half credit and something like that. But then like I don't know like how truthful it is, but like, you know, there's apparently like there's a few cases like, you know, things with that about him. But I guess that's just
you
Chinatown.
mean Cary Fuji, that guy?
Huh?
Are you talking about the Bond director? No Time to Die?
Yeah, isn't it Fukunaga? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, well, he was also accused of like some other stuff.
Fukunaga. Yeah. What else was he accused of?
Like assault, but like it's
was
been
he?
pretty like buried. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I thought you were gonna say that. I thought you were gonna say that. But...
No.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It all comes back around to accusation.
Yeah, that's just Chinatown though.
That's Chinatown.
This is Chinatown. It's Chinatown. Yeah, that's right.
We probably should joke about these accusations.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, while as the film ended, I mean, the whole time I was thinking, because I'm like, well, first of all, it started off as me as I was watching the film being like, why the fuck's this called Chinatown? Where's Chinatown? And then it evolved into at the end when Chinatown showed up. I was like, oh, interesting. Why is it called Chinatown? And then I thought about that for like 10 minutes before I read this. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's why it's called Chinatown. I get it. I
saw that bloke on Letterboxd. I can't remember his name. Silent Dawn. I think it was his. Where he was kind of giving a bit of an analysis about like, Chinatown, about how like, like the natives of Chinatown, and so like we only see them at the end, and like they're so used to it, and like the comment that makes about like about Chinatown and about the way that people use it and stuff. It was like, and like it's interesting stuff, but like it's just that the movie couldn't get me to care about it. I had to look at a reviewer afterwards got me to ponder that, not the actual film.
Right. Yeah, I get you. If that wasn't that didn't really feel that important. That I don't know. That sort of seems like reaching to me, but I thought you were going to start making fun of Silent Dawn, and I was going to be down. But
no, I love him. He's great. He's like one of my favorite reviewers.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
yeah. Like there's been like 2 instances I think I remember where like he's just like completely off like the fucking nut, but like otherwise like yeah, I agree with him like a majority of the time. And he's one of the few people that like doesn't piss me off on Letterboxd, because like he doesn't inject opinion or like personal experience into his reviews. It is just an analysis of the film, whereas everyone's like, oh, this and that, and like they just like start shoving like random shit into it, and like they just like start making it personal. Like, what the fuck are you doing putting your life story on Letterboxd?
I thought you said like Simon Dawn or something. I was like, who the hell is Simon Dawn?
Silent
Dawn.
He's great.
He's a great writer though. Like, genuinely.
I was looking at Revenge of the Sith reviews last night, and as I kept scrolling, I don't think I've ever done this. I just kept scrolling, and there are so many Silent Dawn reviews of Revenge of the Sith. He's written like 5, and
really?
He just kept coming up. I'm like, hang on, I already read one of yours, bro. And it was so funny.
Yeah.
It was great. Some more trivia. At one point, Roman Polanski and Jack Nicholson got into such a heated argument that Polanski smashed Nicholson's portable television with a mop. Oh, Nicholas used the television to watch LA Lakers games and kept stalling shooting. That was just one element of trivia I took to sort of encapsulate the apparent issues that Polanski and the actors kept having arguments all the time on this film.
Wait a second, I'm not done with the Silent Dawn talk.
Because, please continue.
Because, okay, I remember early like a couple of years ago I mentioned him, and you guys both hated him because he has pronouns in his bio, and you guys were like, guys just hated like the shit out of him, and I was like, are you guys serious? Like, it's like one detail.
I don't think that's him.
No, that's him. I remember this conversation. I remember your faces.
Hang on.
I don't think I've read to. I only just read his bio now, and I've never seen this shit before. I don't think I've ever read his bio. I've only like looked at stuff.
I remember the conversation. I pointed you towards him, and you guys were like, "No."
I have zero recollection of this, but also I believe you. But also I don't have any opinion. I don't know. Well, I'm not saying I like Silent Dawn now. If you're trying to expose me as a hypocrite, I'm not saying I like him. You know what I mean? Yeah,
was this conversation on record or off record? Because depending on that, I'll agree with you.
Let's go find it. Episode.
I don't know, 13. But it was in this, setting on the computer.
I'm just looking at apparently he gave Uncharted a 15 out of 100 and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker 15 out of 100. So I guess I don't like him that much.
Deserved. Probably
Because you don't like him. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah. Maybe I should just delve into the reviews of Silent Dawn and just,
yeah, let's do a whole episode on it.
on Silent Dawn's reviews.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him and his opinions, so I need to learn if I like him or not,
There's I don't know. I think majority of the time, I appreciate what he's writing. I know he wrote a review for Agita, the Wrath of God, though, where like on his first viewing he gave like a 6, but then like he rewatched it and gave it 100, and I was pissed off because I didn't like that movie and he didn't like it as well, but then he like goes and retcons that and I'm like, fucking hell.
No.
What a dickhead, yeah. How dare you change your mind, bro?
I know.
It's unbelievable. I mean, we can review Silent Dawn all we want, I guess, but I really liked that shot when Jack Nicholson and his mate were in the rowboat, and there was that shot where like it was meant to replicate, like it was when who was taking the picture? Was Jack taking the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know the shot I'm talking about where it, like it zooms out like to him over the shoulder, but it was meant to replicate like a photography thing. Like it was meant to replicate the feel of the lens of the camera. Like it went from like sort of like it was meant to be this first person thing out into a over the shoulder shot.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I've never seen anything like that. It was kind of cool. Okay. If we're all done, if we're all silent, we can go to our final verdicts of Chinatown. Liam.
I think I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for now. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like probably great, but I just didn't recognize it or get it this time. But I mean, I don't know. It was a bit slow. It was a bit just like standard noir, but I think like it has unique elements. I think Jack Nicholson is really is a unique character in this, and I think that was like maybe the reason people say it's like the best a really great screenplay is like there are a lot of details I think to pick up on, like just the ones we were talking about like the one Jaden picked up with like Noah Cross talking about his daughter, and it's like he could mean like either daughter and shit like that. There's probably like a lot more details that like I've missed and probably adds to the experience of the story. But yeah, I think it's a bit just like standard noir and not much of a style. So, but I mean the music is really great. We probably didn't mention that, but like
good
the music was really fantastic. But
yeah, especially that as it fades out. It's fantastic.
Oh,
that whole when from the moment he says "forget it," it's Chinatown, like that entire kind of theme. Brilliant.
Yeah, I love those old school like shots that the final shot just goes for like 5 minutes as the credits roll and everyone's still acting in the background. I love that. Cool. All right, Jaden.
It's like a 5.5 with a plus minus of half, so like I'll give it a 6. But yeah, like I think it depend on the day on like how I reflect on it. Yeah, I think it is in general probably positive leaning, so I think it will like most likely be that 6. Yeah,
sure. Very scientific. Very good. I'll give it a 7 too. I thought it was good. I liked it. I'm on a streak of 7s at the moment. I've just realised, but
I reckon Prometheus will reinforce that.
You reckon? Oh yeah, honestly, might. Yeah. I'm curious about that. So yeah, very good, very good. Chinatown, another one in the books. Let's get into our most anticipated news chat of all time. If only this had been around when we asked who's your favourite green character, because everyone's new favourite green character is about to be She-Hulk, obviously. And we've got a Disney Plus trailer for this series coming in August. When this trailer dropped, I was like, everyone talks about Marvel fatigue. I'm feeling it. But I never had a moment more significant than this one when I was like, wait, we just had the Thor trailer. We just had the Miss Marvel trailer. Miss Marvel hasn't even started. And now we've got the She-Hulk trailer. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I didn't even know it was in production.
Yeah, right? Yeah, crazy. I know they announced it ages ago, but yeah, like honestly, it's one of those ones that just flew under the radar. So yeah, there was that. But what did you think of it, Jaden?
I don't know. I reckon I reckon Marvel just needs to go back to like doing what they did in the 70s and just painting people green and saying like that's the extent of the outfit. I mean, like I think it'd be better than kind of these half-baked CGI shows they kind of got going. She doesn't look good, right?
It didn't stand out to me, to be honest. I know I saw a lot of people saying that too, though.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be re-rendered for the final show. Maybe they might, I don't know, run a few more passes through. But like, I don't know. She didn't look good. She didn't look convincing. Even the Hulk looked kind of sad.
Don't say that in front of Luke.
I'm not very interested in the show. Like, I think like it's been described as like Law and Order ish. Because she's just she's a lawyer for superheroes, whatever the fuck. So like, and like it seems like a cool premise, but like with the track record of Disney plus Marvel shows,
yeah, that's my thing.
It's like anything that seems fun or promising or interesting, it may be like that in the first 2 episodes or not even that, and just fizzle out like entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like of what's coming, I'm more keen for Miss Marvel than this for sure.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, this show has the subtitle Attorney at Law, and yeah, the way it's talked about is it's meant to be this Law and Order thing. The thing, it's 9 episodes long.
Oh, that's way too fucking long.
They're 30 minutes each, and it's going for sort of a different. My understanding is that it's going for a sort of different format than the hour-long 6 episodes we're used to. And that's cool. I like that idea. Like if it's more serialized, like, She-Hulk has to deal with this different, like, weird law case every week or something. Like, I don't mind that. That sounds interesting to me. This trailer didn't do justice to that, though. Like, this trailer just made it look like there's another shit. Great. We get another origin story. Great. Can't wait, So, I mean, hopefully it turns out being a bit interesting, but I'm with you, Jane. I don't have a lot of hope at this point. They've sort of, I've given them so many chances at this point, and they just continue to burn me. So I'm like,
it ends up the same length as like a series that's 6 episodes and 40 minutes each.
Yeah, sure, but if the format, you know what I mean. If they're telling more stories with a different tone,
I guess
I think it adds something to it. But again, potentially, I don't know if they're going to deliver at all on that. So we'll have to see. What do you think?
Well, if they can keep it really funny, sorry, I mean, like if they can keep it really, if they can keep it really funny, like yeah, maybe, but like they're not going to keep it,
exactly.
Yeah,
100%. What do you think, Liam? You saw Tim Roth, and that's all you needed. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's all I needed. Well, I don't have Disney Plus at the moment, but I will get that back for MP1.
Hell yeah!
But
let's go.
Like it looks fun, but I said Hawkeye looked fun, and I'll probably watch that. And then I said Moon Knight looked fun, and I'll probably watch it for Oscar Isaac, but I did neither. So,
right,
I'm probably not going to watch it. So,
I don't know. I think I'm just coming to realize that I don't think these recent Marvel shows are good. That's just my opinion. I think I understand the appeal now more than ever. Now that we're at this intersection where we're getting, like, MCU fatigue has been a conversation for years, and it's not slowing down the output at all. And it's just getting increasingly more insane. And I think with that, we're coming to this breaking point of where, like, somehow I feel like the investment and its significance in pop culture is only growing, which is crazy. And I feel like we're just reaching a point with it where I'm learning it's not for me anymore. And that's totally cool. But it's almost so much that it's replicating, like, you feel like you're watching comic books in a way, like, obviously they're all comic book movies and comic book shows, but in a way that's never really been the case before, just with the sheer amount of it. Like, I feel like every new episode of this show, of all these shows and all these things happening, that it's getting to the point where it's almost like if you were to probably add it all up, like every second week of the entire year, you get a new Marvel show episode, right? And in that way, it almost feels like you're experiencing this never-ending comic book run on the screen. And I think a lot of people love that and are really into that and love, like, the interconnected and chatting with your friends about all the characters and stuff and where things could go and, and just getting different comic runs and sort of looking at it in that way is new. And I think it's for a lot of people. I just think I'm at a point where I'm learning it's not for me and it's not what I want out of television. Because at a point, I just feel like it's not reaching a certain quality that I expect from TV, but I hope it continues to deliver excitement for people because it clearly is. Like people, like this story, like what I saw, like one of the most watched trailers again. It's like they just keep doing this shit. So people still love it.
That was the most watched trailer.
I think I saw it was the most watched Disney Plus show trailer so far.
Holy fuck,
dude! It's just crazy. Like no matter what I think, like this shit's riding so high, you know. Now it's time for our highlights of the week. Liam, what have you been watching?
I watched Ted Lasso. I watched all of it.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. I don't know, man. This is like, it's a masterpiece. It's just a masterpiece. It's amazing. It's so fucking entertaining. It's so funny. I love everything about it. I love all the characters. I love the premise. I love how just light and fun it is, but it's also like very serious at points. It's very mature. It's very, I don't know, incredibly. It's like a lot of like in jokes and like it feels like you're just with friends the whole time, you know. And it's just amazing, just incredible. So I don't even know, this show just like blindsided me. Like I just watched the first episode and I was kind of like into it straight away. So yeah.
It really feels like it has no right being as good as it is, dude.
Yeah, I know. But yeah.
It's unbelievable. One of my favourite parts I thought you'd really appreciate is that it's really clear that the writers are film buffs because they keep throwing film references in all the time.
Oh yeah, they do.
Like pretty good ones too, like not just like cheap. Yeah.
No, yeah, like sometimes it's quite like out there.
Yeah. Ted, like in universe, Ted is like a PTA buff, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah, they talk about like Tom Cruise and like Magnolia and like his ponytail, whatever. But yeah, like just the characters are awesome. Like Ted Lasso himself is fucking hilarious, and he's not just like this like he's like a happy-go-lucky character, but like you kind of like you understand that he's not dumb. He's like he recognizes that he kind of puts on a silly attitude, and that people like insult him and like try to like, you know, use their ego against him and like get in a kind of ego battle, but he just doesn't engage in that like consciously, and you kind of understand why later on. But it's such like a basically like interesting philosophy as well, just applied to like the show, just like this philosophy of positivity which like works so well. And it's like it's not even like it's just like, you know, be positive, everything is like good in the world. It's like the show deals with like some serious issues like along the way, and then it just continues to be, you know, what it is, which is really fun. And yeah, like the conflicts are really great. I think like I mean the first season in terms of the conflict is really awesome. Like you have one character who's like kind of you know, fucking everything up, I guess, or trying to like sabotage things. The whole point of the season is her like trying to like make her come around like inadvertently or like accidentally. And then you have like the characters on the football team who are like, you know, you have Jamie in the first season who's really like kind of selfish and like kind of you know, all for himself, but he's like a great character too. Like, he's a lot of fun, and you know,
he's hilarious.
My favorite character was who's my favorite? What's his name?
Oh, it's got to be Roy, right?
Yeah, Roy Kent.
Of course.
It's like Roy Kent. But he's like another side of the philosophy too, because he's not like as happy-go-lucky as Ted, but he's very he like is passionate, and he's kind of, you know, sticks to what he likes and makes him happy, kind of thing. I mean, it sounds really dumb to say all this, but like the show really.
No, you're totally right. You're completely right in every way.
Yeah. Thanks, but no, it's also like just extremely funny, like dumb funny, like just like like I don't know, like you know, like there's a joke like the manager says like, oh yeah, I talked to the owner of the Sun. That's not like the newspaper, and Ted like says, you spoke to God? And I don't know, shit like that is just like, it's so dumb, but it's so funny. And like in jokes between, you know, Beard and Ted, Beard is so great. There's the single episode with Beard, I think, is like, I looked at the IMDb ratings and it's quite low rated, but I actually really love that episode. I think it was like a 10 out of 10 episode. I don't know.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the best. It's awesome.
You said a lot, and you said it very well. I totally agree. I mean, the thing that's so good about it, and it's so effective as a show, because it's everything anyone would want out of a show. It's so hilarious, so entertaining, so simple, yet so clearly thoughtful, and also very impactful, and has a lot to say at the same time. Like it just achieves everything that media should achieve.
Yeah. Oh my god! Not even mentioning Nate. Nate has a fantastic.
Oh, dude!
I can't even. That is so great.
Dude, the final scene with him?
The final shot is
it
fucking
made me
incredible.
laugh. It made me laugh so hard.
Dude, I can't believe how, kind of spoilers, if you don't want to listen, but I can't believe how quickly his hair turned grey. That was like,
right?
I feel like that was almost like an intentional, narrative decision.
No, it totally was. It felt it felt like a clear, like it was like a visual cue of his corruption.
But he's such a fun character, like at the start as well.
Oh yeah.
To like include. But yeah, she's great. Oh, even Keely is like amazing as well. She's like a fantastic character. Her relationship with Roy, her relationship with oh god, what's the manager's name?
Oh shit.
Rebecca, was it? Yeah. She's incredible as well, Rebecca, like the actress. Like,
she's really good.
Make Rebecca Great Again, that episode where they like go away, and they're like in the hotel. That's like a fantastic episode, and like, God, Ted dealing with like the divorce and stuff and all that. That's just like fantastic.
Was he actually dealing with his divorce with Olivia Wilde at the time?
Oh, yeah.
Had an influence.
It's a bit meta.
Yeah.
I think Olivia Wilde actually like encouraged Jason Sudeikis to
get a divorce.
Yeah, to create to develop the show from the SNL skit. Like she like helped him encourage him to create the show.
And then she left him for someone half his age.
Oh, dude!
Jane obviously hasn't watched Ted Lasso. He's not being positive.
Evidently not.
Huh? But I have no issue with this. I have an issue with Olivia Wilde dumping Jason Sudeikis.
Oh my god! This has become the what's it called, that ET podcast.
Yeah.
Dude, when you said that through on the Discord, Andy's comment on that video, that is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. That was incredible that you found that. I love that.
Yeah, I can't believe that. It was
awesome.
It was like two realities converging,
Yeah.
It was like, I couldn't believe that I could see like him in public. Yeah.
It was crazy. I felt bad because I've watched that video too, and I feel like I was like jealous that I wish I had seen the comment. I wish I had taken the screenshot, but you got me there. Oh, that was great. I love that so much. Thanks for indulging us, Jaden, but I think it's time for Doctor Who recap. It's like a whole new... I think I need a new transition sound effect for this.
Yeah. Doctor Who. I'm nearly at the end of the rewatch, so,
oh, wow.
There won't be too much longer to talk about it. I'll try and keep it super brief. Season 8 is one of the best seasons of Doctor Who, probably the best, because each episode kind of explores who the Doctor is as a person in a different way. Is he a good person? Why does he choose his face? How does he do this? Is he an officer? Is he a soldier? And the way that each episode kind of explores that is really fantastic. And it's something that the show hasn't done before, and it actually explains why the Doctor is the way he is in an indirect manner.
This is Peter Capaldi, right?
Yeah. I think this rewatch has confirmed that Peter Capaldi is the best Doctor for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's just so fantastic. Not necessarily the best stories, although they are fantastic, but he's the best Doctor for sure. And season 9 is also brilliant. In the penultimate episode of season 9, you get a reveal that the show's been building to for 10 years at that point. And it's so worth it. And it does later, Deep Breath is one of my favorite episodes, and it's directed by this guy called Ben Wheatley, who did The High Rise and some other stuff. Is really cool. And then you have some really brilliant just pieces of sci-fi television or just television in general, and like you can't appreciate them without having gone through the previous 10, 12 years of content, you know. And it's unfortunate in that sense, but like, and it makes it rather inaccessible. But like, Heaven Sent, which is the penultimate episode of season 9, is just truly like the greatest piece of sci-fi television.
Whoa, what a
Is that the one where he punches? I've seen that one, I think.
Yeah, that one.
Where he punches the woman? It's like Jack Nicholson? Wow.
Yeah, you see, that's the great thing about the Doctor. He'll never abuse a woman. Actually, classic Doctors might have, to be honest, but
yeah,
9 onwards they haven't.
Thank God.
Unless they're aliens.
Alien women, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, but like he's not like there's not like just beating a woman for no reason, even if they're an alien. He's actually like he's very passive. Like it's really interesting, like the kind of ethics of the Doctor, in that he'll commit mass genocide on a species, but then like he'll also like be like upset about it, and he's like, and like he'll always find a way to like kind of like leave one of them out, and like it like the show's placed itself in an interesting position where like you have Nazi robots, but you can't kill them all, because then that goes against the Doctor's morals of killing an entire species. So like every time like, you know, these the Daleks or the Cybermen or even the Master, every time these like really evil, like the most iconic and the most evil of the villains appear, and the Doctor's in a position where he really should kill them because, you know, of all the harm they've done, he can't kill them because of his morals. But then like also they're fucking Nazis, like literally inspired by them. So like it's like,
I mean, I disagree. Like in the first one, in Dalek, he wants to kill the last one. I mean, he killed the Daleks in the first place, thinking they were all. He's gonna kill them all.
But I think that changes as the show goes on. Because like if you watch Classic Who, like these morals aren't as firmly in place, and you'll see the Doctor just waltzing about with Unit and just shooting everything they can. But like in the new series, they kind of tried to take a more not pacifist stance, because like they established that he is a warrior, he's a soldier, and that he can commit like mass atrocities, but like they try to make him fair, and like he always gives him a chance, you know. It's like what I was talking about in Alien 4, how like I felt like the Doctor should appear at the end and like give the alien a second chance, because that's what he always does, you know. He always gives him a chance. And like in later seasons with the Daleks, like in Evolution, in Daleks in the Manhattan episode with Daleks, or like in Into the Dalek, he'll give them a second chance, you know.
That's what I'm up to. Daleks in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an episode called Angels in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Oh, Take Manhattan? Oh, Manhattan's in trouble, man.
Yeah. Actually, they're both set in the 30s as well.
Oh, cool. I'm in a tricky spot because I would talk about Better Call Saul, but the season gap, it's split. The final season split in 2 parts, and the gap is I've got 1 episode left next week, so it's sort of better if I talk about it next week. At that point, so yeah, I sort of got nothing. I'll take my Ted Lasso contributing as like me counting this week. You know, that's fine. Now we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you, what is the best Jack Nicholson movie?
That Jack Nicholson's in.
That's right. That's not what it was, to appease Luke. But Luke said, favourite Jack Nicholson movie is Batman 1989. Nicholson was an amazing Joker and was really fun to watch. I haven't seen him in much else. Andy said, favourite Jack Nicholson movie he is in would have to be The Shining, as that is one of the 2 films I've ever seen him in. The other one we don't talk about because it's poo. I'll let you people figure that one out.
Batman.
The Departed.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You're right. I didn't know. Yeah, cool.
You see, I feel like Andy's one of the people that, like, if he wasn't my friends, I'd hate his reviews on Letterboxd because, like, of like how personal they are.
If you came across him on Letterboxd. Yeah. Chinatown at 10? Yeah.
And like I'm sure if I understand these people, like I'd appreciate the reviews. Like I love reading Andy's like kind of whack ass opinions, but like
oh no,
only because he's my mate, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Whack ass opinions. Yeah. Andy, you knew I was going to do this, didn't you? My favorite Jack Nicholson film is The Departed, obviously. I feel like The Departed's been my like answer to the question of the show many times, just based on different questions and stuff. But yeah, I love The Departed. It's great. I'm actually sort of scared to rewatch it because I feel like I have this great memory of it. And not that I think I'm going to dislike it or anything like that, but I feel like if I rewatch it, I'm going to dislike it a fair bit less for some reason. I don't know. I've got
actually,
something
The
about
Departed used to be like a 10 out of 10 for me, but I've watched it so many times, it's like
right.
Can't stay like that forever.
No, that's right. That's right. I mean, some films can maybe, but yeah, that's my choice. I also what was that movie where I watched this movie with Jack Nicolson. It's probably the most significant other film of his I've seen. Where he's like he lives in a New York apartment, and he's like really. I think has he got a disability or something? I don't know.
Oh.
I feel like this was an iconic performance or something at the time.
The Bucket List.
Is that what it was? Isn't
The
that
one with Morgan Freeman?
Oh no, no, I have seen that too. Actually, wait, is he in that? Wait, is that Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird. I have seen that movie. God, that's such a forgettable movie. Okay. Holy shit.
Is it about Schmidt? Is that the one? No,
yes.
Liam's seen that one. You haven't.
About Schmidt.
Oh my god.
Is that the one where
as
he's
good
like,
as it gets?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's one of those two. I don't know the name of it. He lives in an apartment. I think he like befriends his neighbor. He has to look after his neighbor's dog or something.
It's all about Schmidt.
It's as good as it gets.
As good as it gets. Okay, all right, cool. I've seen that one too. I didn't really like it that much, but I was just trying to think of any film of his I've seen at that point. Anyway, we got there. Sorry, Jaden. What about you?
I will also go with The Departed.
Can confirm it's not poo.
Yeah, I just feel like The Departed does more for the genre than what Shining does for the genre. You know.
Okay.
Because like I love both films; they're both nines. But what Departed does for gangster films, I feel, is more significant than what The Shining does for horror films. Although a lot of people would debate that and say that The Shining is revolutionary, or whatever. Obviously, I'm spoiled for choice, and I don't know. I like it, like a kind of wide range of horror, not just that. So like, it's great, it's awesome, it's significant, but it's not as significant. So like, The Departed kind of edges it out.
Andy would be here screaming for Infernal Affairs at this moment.
But like Andy's opinion is just invalid because like he's just too biased, and like it's just
it's just invalid. Liam, what about you?
I did not think my answer was going to be mentioned previously to me talking about it, but my answer is about Schmidt, which is an Alexander Payne movie. Who did your favorite movie, Downsizing, and
oh my god,
Election, and a bunch of other good stuff. I don't know. It's like old. Nicholson is very old and sad, and it's just a very old and sad movie about a sad Nicholson who, his wife died, and then he went to retirement, and now he's like doesn't know what to do, so he like goes across a trip in his van, I think is what happens.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome.
It is awesome. It's very awkward. Like, he has a lot of awkward interactions, and like he goes back to his job where his office was, where he was like a vice president or something, and there's this new guy who hasn't like looked over the files or like the advice that he gave him, and he's like really sad, and he sees like his boxes in like the near a bin or something, and it's like the movie's just like depressing like that, but it's very I mean, it's very sweet, I guess. I don't know. It's very nice. Jack Nicolson really sells it. And yeah, well, I actually thought like the question was like favorite Jack Nicolson performance, which I also would say like it's probably my favorite performance of his. But yeah, I don't know. Like the whole film is about like just like the sense of like life passing you by and like just being, I don't know, like, the age, like, you're old, like when you're older and you don't have like anything in your life, I guess, like just that depressing kind of state. But yeah, it's it's fantastic, as you can tell.
I'm fascinated with that. I'm fascinated with those themes of like aging and time, and I'm fascinated just in life in general with getting old and the transition to when you go into old folks' homes and spending time in there and what that's like and how people end up there. Like all those thoughts are like I'm really interested in all that. So
you're gonna end up in an old folks' home by the time you're 48.
God, I hope I'll never end up in there.
Do you think you'd enjoy old age?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Would I enjoy old age? Sure, you don't have to do anything. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really see a difference, to be honest. I mean, hopefully I'm physically okay. Hopefully I keep up the stretches. I hope I'm limber enough, and I'm not. I haven't got injuries and all that. That's
as long as this cold doesn't permanently, just fuck your nervous system or whatever.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. As long as it doesn't turn into permanent COVID effects or whatever. But yeah, what do you think? You'd enjoy old age, Dad? That's an interesting question.
I reckon I'd be alright with it. Because the thing is, like, a lot of people talk about like the loneliness of it, but like, as it stands now, like, I'm okay with not like obviously I love seeing my friends and like I enjoy company and stuff like that. But like a lot of people talk about like the seeing your family less and like the kind of like the isolation that you experience. But like, I like a bit of downtime.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I reckon I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, inherently, different people are going to cope with it in different ways, depending on just how you are in general. But I feel like there is also an element to it if you're. I think a lot of people, just based on my own observations, aren't self-aware enough to sort of take action and, how do I say this? To sort of, they're unaware enough of the fact of what could happen to them if they're not careful in their choices. So I think you can get around like those thoughts of like loneliness and being feeling terrible in your retirement if you got no one, like by by being conscious of it, by like making sure you're choosing hobbies carefully and having a routine. You know what I mean? I feel like you can be thoughtful about it. As I say, as a 21-year-old person, so maybe that'll completely change. Yeah. But it's just in my own observations, I notice sometimes like people, they end up a certain way because they couldn't see it coming and they weren't prepared. I feel like that might be an element to it too. But that's like for a Sam Harris podcast. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over the line.
Who's Sam Harris?
He's a philosopher. But anyway. As always, we'd love you to submit your questions, thoughts, reviews for next week's film in the YouTube comment section. Send us a DM on Instagram or join the Discord server. That's what you want to do. That's where you want to be. There's been a lot of stuff dropping in the Discord this week, so join us there. This week, we're asking you, we're going back to this. What have you been watching? Just want to get an audience catch up. Tell us what you've been watching, a film or a show you've been watching recently, and how you're feeling about it. Let us know. I personally really like these ones, but yeah, you got to write in. Let us know, And Luke's not allowed to write in about Criminal Minds. That's banned. All right. That's it for this week's episode of Cinema Effect. Liam, what are we doing next week?
Prometheus. The aliens continue to come to get the humans. Yeah. The alien series continues, is what I want to say. Yeah.
That doesn't instill a lot of hope in me because from what I understand about Prometheus, I know like it's sort of divisive to my understanding, but I always interpreted it as being something different for the franchise, and I was excited for that, but I hope it's not the same. It is. Shit. Hey?
It is.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah. Good. Okay. I'm happy about that. All right. Oh, and that's on Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah.
Well, is it on Foxtel? Okay. Excellent. Yes. Excellent. Very good. All right. That's it for this week's episode. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks, Liam and Jaden, for chatting, as always. We'll see you all next week. Have a great rest of your day, life, week, and goodbye.